So we were talking about, we have done the unity of command and now we move on to unity of direction. So when we talk about unity of command, it is, it's narrow in approach. Why? Because we are just talking about superiors and subordinates, a certain group. But when we talk about unity of direction, we are encompassing a whole big group. That means it may be one complete department, it may be one complete unit, it may be a subunit. So unity of direction क्या कहता है? Unity of direction, this is the keyword here, beta. One head, one plan. So it says that the efforts of all the members in a particular department and all the departments taken together should be directed towards one common goal. That is the common goals of the organization. So again, I repeat it. Unity of direction says that the actions, the efforts of all the members and the employees, all the people in an organization should be directed towards only one common goal. And this, if this principle is applied, it leads to coordination. So basically we are talking about application of coordination. So यहाँ हम लिखते हैं one head, one plan, and we make it this way. One head, one plan. इस तरह से आप लिख सकते हो, क्योंकि यहाँ पे stick figures आप नहीं बना सकते. We are talking about each and everyone moving in the same direction. So one head, one plan, as I've marked out over here only. Positive effect, obviously, it is really important for the achievement of organizational objectives, and this alone can bring coordination. And what is the negative effect? There will be lack of coordination. अगर सब लोग अपने अपने directions में भागेंगे, तो organizational objectives will be compromised. There will be no coordination, and there will be a lot of chaos also in the organization. You can see this difference between unity of command and unity of direction. Seldom it may be asked, पर कभी-कभी पूछा जा सकता है. तो meaning तो हमने आपको बता ही दिया है कि क्या है. Meaning के अलावा you also can see what is the aim. The aim is, the aim of unity of command is to prevent dual subordination, whereas that of unity of direction is to ignore overlapping of activities, or you can say to guide everyone in the same direction. And what is the implication? Unity of command affects one employee at a time, whereas unity of direction affects the entire organization. If you can just give me 1 second, I'll just check the notification. Maybe someone is trying to contact me. I'm not very sure. I'll just check it out. Because, once you start the class, that's why I wonder now why my trainers did keep a team with them. Okay. Moving down. Subordination of individual interest to group interest. Now, this principle simply says that whenever a choice has to be made, whenever a choice has to be made between an individual and the organization, preference should always be given to the organization. That means individuals should not keep themselves as the priority, rather the organizational objectives only, right? तो खुद को पीछे करके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का अगर भला होता है तो वो करना चाहिए. Now the example which is given over here is exactly out of your book. It says before buying raw material, the manager must compare the prices provided by all the suppliers and give order to the best supplier. That means the one who is giving the best quality products at the least prices, rather than giving orders to his own relatives. Another example that I always give is when we talk about the game of cricket. Very recently, Rohit Sharma ने कैप्टेंसी नहीं की थी एक मैच में. क्यों नहीं की थी? Because runs were not coming off his bat. तो उसने कहा कि ठीक है, I'm not going to be the captain. I'm going to pass on the captaincy to, I don't know, I think बुमराह को दी थी उस समय कैप्टेंसी. तो क्योंकि उसको he cannot contribute to the team over there. तो unnecessarily captaincy रखने का कोई फायदा नहीं है, because it's about the team. So that is subordination of individual interest to general interest. फायदा क्या होगा जी? Obviously organizational objectives achieve होंगे, and the organization will also recognize and appreciate this sacrifice made by the individual. And if this is not done, तो obviously organizational objectives compromise हो जाएंगे. There will be a bitter environment in the organization. Remuneration of employees. Remuneration of employees says that employees should be paid fair wages and salaries, which should be at least which should be able to provide them a fair or a certain standard of living, a reasonable standard of living. अब लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या आती है बात कि फेयर क्या है? Like if I say I want everyone to get good marks, good की definition क्या है वो बताना पड़ेगा. So what is fair? This is, this is something like principle of materiality that we have studied in accountancy. Similarly, we have fair over here. Fair means it should be within the financial capacity of the firm, right? It should also keep into consideration the wages and salaries paid by the competitors, and it should be as per the skills of an employee. तो अगर हम कहते हैं कि एक organization में सबको same salary मिलनी चाहिए, it's a very stupid idea. Not everyone can get the same salary because people will be working at different levels, different hours, different kind of labor. Some might be doing physical labor, some might be doing mental labor. Now, top level management gets highest salaries. Now, people say वो तो AC room में बैठते हैं, करते क्या है? सोचना यानी दिमाग का इस्तेमाल करना, प्लानिंग करना और लोगों से उस पे काम करवाना. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Please keep yourselves muted. So what is the positive effect of remuneration of employees? So if employees are fairly paid according to their skills, according to their capacity, and within the financial capacity of the firm, then the employees will be happy, they will feel motivated, and they will strive towards the achievement of organizational goals. Right? So I'm not going to take on the negative effect. क्योंकि अगर positive पता है तो उसको उल्टा कर दो, do not और don't लगा दो, हो जाएगा आपका negative effect. सेंट्रलाइजेशन एंड डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन, अगेन आपको दोनों को बताना पड़ेगा. व्हाट इज सेंट्रलाइजेशन? Concentration of the decision making power or authority at the top or in the hands of a few people at the top is centralization. And decentralization is dispersal of authority. If you remember, decentralization हमने organization में भी किया है. So dispersal of authority or passing down the decision making authority to the person nearest to the person who has to take the decision is decentralization, right? So centralization means concentration of authority. Decentralization means dispersal of authority at all the levels of management. Now let me clear one thing. Decentralization का मतलब ये नहीं होता कि सबको authority दे दी. Possible ही नहीं है ना. ऐसा थोड़ी ना कि सभी को authority मिल जाएगी. The point is that when we are talking about three levels, top level, middle level, and bottom level, people, that is the section heads or the foremen or the supervisors or the departmental heads or the divisional heads, they will have enough of authority to take decisions about their departments, their sections, their people, their routine jobs. However, the most important tasks will still be, the decisions will be taken by the top level management. तो सेंट्रलाइजेशन और डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन बताया हमने कि क्या है, और अब आप क्या बोलोगे? फ्यूल सेड दैट देयर शुड बी अ बैलेंस बिटवीन centralization and decentralization. That means the most important key decisions should always be taken by the top level managers. However, the routine decisions related with certain departments and sections should be taken by the concerned managers. This is going to bring a lot of harmony. This will also lead to division of work. This is going to encourage and motivate the employees a lot so that they can take their daily decisions. Not employees, basically the managers. Okay. Again, I repeat, if you have any queries, you can park them and I'll take them at the end. Principle of a scalar chain. A scalar chain क्या है? ये again आपको definition simple है. It means a line of authority. It is a line of authority और इसके साथ हम क्या लगा देते हैं? Communication. इसके साथ communication को add कर दीजिए. So it is a line of authority and communication which flows from top to bottom. It is a chain which brings everyone in an organization together. And this is the easiest principle to explain क्योंकि इसमें डायग्राम बनाना जरूरी है. अगर आपसे ये प्रिंसिपल एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए पूछा जाता है, प्लीज डू ड्रॉ अ डायग्राम. Don't just ignore it. Okay. Now this is very clear. What does it mean to say? It says that A is at the top of the management. Now A will give orders and instructions to B, B to C. So if I just have to check out the relationship between A, B, and C, B is C's superior and A's subordinate. Similarly, if I talk about this guy D over here, D is superior to E, F, and G. but he has to answer back, or answer back in the sense he has to report to C, B and A. ये इसके superiors हैं. तो पहला फायदा क्या है स्केलर चेन का? There is absolute role clarity. Who is whose superior, who is whose subordinate, किसने किसको orders and instructions देने हैं, किसने किसके orders and instructions follow करने हैं, ये एकदम clear हो जाता है स्केलर चेन से, right? ये इसका सबसे बड़ा फायदा है. दूसरा, there is no communication gap. बिकॉज इफ देर इज अ ग्रेप वाइन कम्युनिकेशन, कोई भी कभी भी किसी से भी बात कर रहा है उठ के, तो उसमें बहुत ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन हो जाते हैं, र्यूमर्स हो जाते हैं. र्यूमर का कभी कोई अंत, जैसे इफ यू, आई डोंट नो इफ यू पीपल हैव कॉट अप ऑन द न्यूज टुडे, आज की महाकुंभ की बहुत सैड न्यूज है दैट यस्टरडे नाइट देयर वाज अ स्टैम्पीड एंड अ नंबर ऑफ पीपल हैव डाइड. अब उसका मेन न्यूज हेडलाइन क्या थी? अफवाह की वजह से. अफवाह क्या होता है? र्यूमर. किसी ने एक चीज बोली, उसी को बाकी लोग रिपीट करते गए इनसेंसिबली, पता नहीं चला कहां से आया और उसकी वजह से पूरी प्रॉब्लम हो गई. तो अगर हम स्केलर चेन फॉलो करते हैं तो र्यूमर्स के लिए कोई स्कोप नहीं होता है. देयर इज नो स्कोप फॉर र्यूमर्स ओवर देयर, राइट? नाउ कमिंग ऑन टू दिस गैंग प्लैंक. अब ये गैंग प्लैंक क्या है बेटा? ये है आपका शॉर्टकट. सो इफ देयर इज अ कम्युनिकेशन, लेट्स से इफ एफ हैज टू कम्युनिकेट टू एल, so F is gonna talk to E. So F is gonna talk to E, then E to D, E, then C, then B, then A, then L, then M, और फिर आएगी N की बारी यहां पे. ठीक. अब क्या है? गैंगप्लैंक आपको कहता है कि इन केसेस ऑफ इमरजेंसी, Fayol admitted communication between two people at different positions, working at different positions, if they communicate directly in cases of emergency, that is called as gangplank. So ये gangplank, अब इसमें दो वर्जन्स है बेटा. कोई कोई बुक आपकी कहती है that the people at the same level can communicate with each other. So if F has to communicate with P, then he can use a gangplank in cases of emergency. But my take is a little different. If I have to talk to my principal, so I am supposed to go to my cluster manager, and the cluster manager has to talk to the principal. Now, principal is not at my level. पर अगर मुझे उनसे बात करनी है तो मैं डायरेक्टली उनसे बात कर सकती हूँ इन केस ऑफ इमरजेंसी. सो माय टेक इज दैट गैंग प्लैंक इज अ शॉर्टकट टू कम्युनिकेशन एट विद बिटवीन टू इंडिविजुअल्स. दे मे बी एट द सेम लेवल, दे मे बी एट डिफरेंट लेवल्स ऑल्सो, बट आई सेड दिस इज माई टेक. बुक्स में कहीं भी जाओगे गैंग प्लैंक आपको सीधा ही मिलेगा. यानी एफ को अगर पी से बात करनी है तो वो डायरेक्टली कर सकता है इन केसेस ऑफ इमरजेंसी, नॉट एज अ रूटीन मैटर. फायदा क्या? मैंने आपको बता दिया, कोई र्यूमर्स नहीं रहेंगे, सिस्टमैटिक फ्लो रहेगा, रोल क्लैरिटी रहेगी. और नेगेटिव इफेक्ट क्या होगा? ये फॉलो नहीं होगा, तो ये सब चीज नहीं रहेंगी. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट वन, एंड इट इज प्रिंसिपल ऑफ ऑर्डर. नाउ प्रिंसिपल ऑफ ऑर्डर आपको क्या कहता है बेटा? It says that in an organization, if there should be a perfect place for everyone and everything. I repeat, there should be a place, a fixed place for everyone and everything in an organization, and that person and place, that person and thing should be found at the assigned place, right? So fixed place to keep every material. जैसे हम अपने घर में अपनी बुक्स को रखने का, अपने सामान को रखने का एक फिक्स्ड प्लेस होता है, इसी तरह ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में भी देयर शुड बी अ फिक्स्ड प्लेस टू कीप द थिंग्स. What will be the benefit of this? There won't be any wastage of time in searching for all these materials. जैसे मैं ये आपको एग्जांपल यहाँ पे भी दे रखा है, ऑलवेज गिव इट इन द क्लास, दैट इफ आई हैव टू लुक फॉर बुक्स आई विल गो टू द लाइब्रेरी. इफ आई हैव टू गेट समथिंग सॉर्टेड अबाउट द फी, आई विल गो टू द फी ब्लॉक, दैट मीन्स द एडमिन ब्लॉक. पर अगर हमें पता ही नहीं है तो हम घूमते रह जाएंगे. जैसे जब हमारे स्कूल में इन एनएच गोयल व्हेन पीपल ज्वाइन इनिशियली, तो वो बहुत कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं बिटवीन द 4 क्लस्टर्स, कहाँ से एंट्री की थी, कहाँ से निकले थे. क्यों? क्योंकि हमारे सारे क्लस्टर्स एक जैसे दिखते हैं. इफ देयर वर 4 डिफरेंट क्लस्टर्स इन डिफरेंट कलर कोड्स और डिफरेंट शेप्स, देन प्रॉब्ली इट वुड हैव बीन ईजियर फॉर द पीपल टू फाइंड इट. Similarly, another example is when it is a when it is when you are looking for a particular teacher, so you go to the staff room और आप पूछते हो कि मैम ये टीचर कहाँ मिलेगा, वो टीचर कहाँ मिलेगा. उसकी जगह अगर हम एक मास्टर टाइम टेबल बना के बाहर लगा दें नोटिस बोर्ड पे, तो आपको पता लगेगा ओके दिस टीचर वुड बी फाउंड एट दिस प्लेस एज ऑफ नाउ, एंड सो यू विल गो एंड फाइंड दैट टीचर ओवर देयर. सो योर टाइम एंड एनर्जी विल बी वेस्टेड. हाँ, लेकिन नुकसान ये होगा कि तुम लोग का घूमने का टाइम भी कट हो जाएगा थोड़ा सा. So let's move on to the next one. Equity, principle of equity. Principle of equity means that there should be an absolutely unbiased opportunity given to everyone in an organization. There should not be any kind of discrimination on account of caste, creed, gender, religion, sex, belief, etc. So it says that there should be fair and just treatment of the employees. All right. So employees should be treated in a very fair and just manner. अब अगर आपको ध्यान हो ना तो आपकी बुक में एक डायग्राम दे रखा है. डायग्राम में क्या दे रखा है? There are three people standing on three different levels of boxes. So let me clarify this. There's a difference between equity and equality. Equality means there are three people they're working in the same department. They joined at the same time, right? So let's say तीन लोगों ने सेम टाइम पे ज्वाइन किया, एक ही डिपार्टमेंट में एक जैसा काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन एक की सैलरी 10,000 है, एक की 15,000 है, एक की 20,000 है. अब जब इंक्रीमेंट देने का टाइम आया, सो 10, 15, 20 ये इनकी सैलरी है, तो पहली चीज तो यही गलत है. एक डिपार्टमेंट में एक टाइम पे ज्वाइन किया, एक ही जैसा काम कर रहे हैं, तो सैलरी सेम होनी चाहिए. नाउ अब जब इंक्रीमेंट देने का टाइम आया तो तीनों को 5,000 का इंक्रीमेंट दे दिया. नाउ दैट इज इक्वालिटी. इक्विटी क्या कहता है कि आप उनको सेम लेवल पे ले आओ. तो आप क्या करोगे? अगर आप जिसके 20,000 है उसके 5,000 बढ़ा रहे हो, तो वो पहुंच गया 20,000 से वो पहुंच गया 25,000 पे. जो 15,000 वाला था ना उसके आप बढ़ाओ 10,000 ताकि वो भी 25 पे पहुंच जाए, और जो 10,000 वाला था उसके बढ़ाएंगे 15,000 ताकि वो भी 25 पे पहुंच जाए. दैट इज कॉल्ड प्रिंसिपल ऑफ इक्विटी. Right. So principle of equity says giving fair opportunities, a very kind and just treatment to all the employees in an organization. Also, it does not mean equal salary to a PN and supervisor, right? So this I have cleared कि only if they are working in the same department, same work, same time they have joined, same qualification, तो ही उन पे same salaries होंगी, otherwise नहीं होंगी, right? So example has been given over here that in a multinational corporation, people of various nationalities work together in a discrimination-free environment. If you look at your own school, or if you look at any school for that sake, students, teachers, they come from all different walks of life. So there is no discrimination on that part. Initiative. Initiative means taking a first step, taking a willful decision and moving forward and doing something without anyone having you to do that. So जब आप अपने अंदर से आगे बढ़ के कोई डिसीजन लेते हो, कोई चीज इंप्लीमेंट करते हो जिससे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का फायदा होगा, that is called as initiative. So Fayol says that the environment of organization should be such so that the employees are motivated to take initiative in making and executing a plan. That means they should be welcome to come up with new plans and ideas. That is initiative. They should come up with new plans and ideas to do the work in a better manner. So it's to improve the organization. Now, इससे क्या फायदा होगा? There will be a feeling of connect and belonging in the organization. Employees will not feel like we are just machines. हमें तो order दे दिया जाता है, हम तो सिर्फ follow करते रहते हैं. No, they will feel that they belong to the organization and they are respected over there. And other thing is that there will be no wastage of time. One sec, please. मेरे को वापस जाना पड़ेगा रे. Yes, because I need my face to be seen. Stability of, so next one, I think initiative is clear. Next is stability of tenure of personnel. Stability of tenure says that there should not be any, मैं इसको बिल्कुल short में कहती हूँ, there should not be a frequent hire and fire. So hire and fire, ये frequent नहीं होना चाहिए. In other words, an organization should refrain from frequent terminations and transfers of the employees. So employees should not be transferred from one department to another, from one shift to another, from one job to another very frequently. And also they should not be terminated. Why? Because one, this brings a lack of job security. If a person is not happy or is not secured about his job, he will never be able to work with full effort and willingness in the organization. Second, they will always be looking on a second job, some other job. And third and most important thing, if an organization keeps on transferring the people, keeps on hiring and firing the people, a lot of time, money, and energy will be wasted on constant recruitments and staffing. So, इसलिए stability of tenure होना चाहिए. Otherwise, also Fayol says that a person is able to prove his or her worth at a job, at a position only in a certain period of time. Nothing can be done in instantly कि आते ही आपने ज्वाइन करके कर दिया. वो मूवीज में होता है कि हीरो आता है और आते ही छा जाता है. रियल लाइफ में ऐसा नहीं होता है. People need time to understand the organization and to do the things and to prove themselves. So what is the positive effect? They will improve efficiency of the organization, and there won't be any wastage of time and resources, and people will feel secure and work wholeheartedly. Esprit de corps means that managers or the organization should promote a feeling of team spirit. It should never be about I. We say the managers should replace I with we. In other words, it means to say कि अगर अच्छा है, कुछ अच्छा हुआ है, कुछ गोल्स अचीव हुए हैं, कुछ अवार्ड्स एंड रिकॉग्निशंस मिले हैं, तो वो टीम ने किया है. और अगर कुछ गलत हुआ है तो वो भी टीम ने किया. बट इन अ वे, इससे भी आगे जाके हम कहते हैं दैट अ कैप्टन शुड बी सच दैट इफ देयर इज एनी अचीवमेंट he should share with the team. He should always give credit to the team. But if there is anything wrong, then the manager should take the blame on himself. That if something went wrong, it is me who has to be blamed, right? So the principle has been ये आप चक दे इंडिया पे आपको बताया है कि एक अच्छा, I mean, anyways, right now I was giving you, the example of Rohit Sharma. क्रिकेट में देखो तो बहुत बार ऐसा हुआ है एज प्रीति कॉर्स दैट and this has started probably with Mahendra Singh Dhoni. This is my favorite example I quote, that whenever there was a win, Dhoni would not come and lift the trophy. He would always ask the youngest player to come and lift the trophy. So उसको भी लगना चाहिए कि यार कैप्टन है तो ये नहीं कि कैप्टन ही सबसे आगे फोटोज खिंचवाएगा, लाइमलाइट में रहेगा. No, captain should give a lot of a scope and importance to all members of the team. So this develops team spirit. This brings this all of obviously helps towards the achievement of group goals. And that bonding is really good in the organization. So here we come to an end of the 14 principles given by Fayol. 15 minute हमारे पास बचे हैं. 1 minute, not 1 minute, a couple of seconds break. I'll drink some water. And we dive into scientific principles of management. So scientific principles of management have been given by किसने दिए? Taylor. Yes, it's been given by F.W. Taylor, Frederick Winslow Taylor. And Taylor basically said that he was more of a person of science. So he said that science should be applied to everything. And when we say science, he said that things should not be done on an experimentation basis. पहले सब कुछ सोच लो, समझ लो, plan कर लो. Everything should be meticulously done, and then only the work should be started. That is what basically Taylor propounded. All right. So Taylor has given us 4 principles, only 4 principles. We'll take you through quickly. First one is science, not rule of thumb. Da nahi hai isme, not rule of thumb. Science के बाद comma लगाना मत भूलना. It is very important. So science, not rule of thumb. It simply means to say, or Taylor said that दो चीजें इसमें आपकी बहुत important है. One, Taylor said that in an organization, everything should be done on the basis of science and not rule of thumb. In other words, he said that an organization should not follow hit and miss method or trial and error method. Rather, there should be one best way of doing the work, and work should be done by that one best way in the organization. ठीक है. रूल ऑफ थंब का मतलब क्या है? डिक्टेटरशिप ऑफ द मैनेजर्स, ट्रायल एंड एरर, हिट एंड मिस मेथड, डिसीजंस बेस्ड ऑन whims and fancies, on the likings. ये सब, इस सब की कोई जगह नहीं है एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में. इसीलिए हम कहते हैं that a good leader has to be heartless at times. क्योंकि हर समय हम कहते हैं ना दिल से सोच के. पहली चीज तो दिल से सोचा नहीं जाता है. सोचने का काम दिमाग का ही होता है. ये बहुत फैंसी चीजें हमने बना ली हैं. But what I mean to say is that you don't put your emotions at work. Put your logic and the achievement of goals at work, right? So एक तो ये चीज यहाँ पे आएगी. दूसरा which is important is work study. So whenever we are talking about science, we basically are referring to work study. So Taylor said that motion study, method study, fatigue study, and what was the third one? Method, motion, fatigue, and fourth कौन सा था? Time study. Right? All these studies should be conducted, and then only the work should be done in an organization. Moving on to harmony, not discord, the second one. अब harmony बिल्कुल clear कहते हैं. Taylor said that there are two parties in an organization, the managers and the workers. Both do not respect each other, or both have, bitter feelings towards each other. And this creates a bitter environment in the organization. So Taylor said that this needs to change. So he said that managers and workers, the superiors and the subordinates, there should be a complete harmony. There should be a complete unity between them and no discord. No discord means there should not be animosity. Rather, they should feel that they have to work together with the help of each other. अब यहाँ पे हमारे keywords क्या हैं? One, they have to work together in a coordinated manner. Secondly, he said that there should be a complete mental revolution. Mental revolution means change in attitude, change in thinking of the managers and the workers towards each other. The managers should give a lot of importance and weightage to the workers, and the workers should follow the managers. So they should have a feeling of commitment and respect towards each other. अब यहाँ सबसे important चीज क्या है बेटा? That whenever we talk about sharing of profits, it further says that profits should be shared. या इस बार हमने क्वेश्चन दिया था, what is meant by mental revolution? Change in mental attitude of workers and managers towards each other. कॉपरेशन वर्ड यहां मत यूज करना, नहीं तो कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे नेक्स्ट में, राइट? सो चेंज इन मेंटल. सो इट सिंपली सेज दैट मैनेजर्स शुड शेयर द प्रॉफिट्स. यहां पे जब भी आएगा शेयरिंग ऑफ द प्रॉफिट्स, तो वो आएगा आपका हार्मनी नॉट डिस्कॉर्ड. शेयरिंग ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स. The managers should share the profits with the workers as it is a result of the effort of both the parties. Next principle is cooperation, not individualism. This is called as an extension of harmony, not discord. Now, what does it mean to say? It says that both the parties, the managers and the workers, apart from being harmonious, they should have this feeling of cooperation. अब बेटा हमने coordination पहले भी किया था, तो अब यहाँ पे ये चीज समझना जरूरी है. Cooperation is willful, when you're willfully doing something with others, and coordination is something which is forcible. Coordination means आपको करना ही पड़ेगा. ये आपका बॉस है, ये आपकी टीम है. I understand you don't like your teammates. I give a heck to it. इनके साथ ही काम करोगे, तो आपको जबरदस्ती करना पड़ रहा है. वो है coordination. Cooperation means you're willfully doing it. You have that feeling, no, these are my people. We have to work together. If we have some personal differences, let's keep it for personal times. This is the organizational time. So we are going to work together as a team. वो होता है cooperation. So cooperation, not individualism, says that the managers and the workers should cooperate with each other. So here, there should be cooperation and not competition. इसको आप याद कर लीजिए. There should be cooperation, not competition between the managers and the workers. They should understand that planning cannot be done in the field. So planning करने के लिए आपको board table पे ही बैठना पड़ेगा, आप वही करना पड़ेगा, right? Also, the workers need to understand that the kind of hard work the workers put in, उसके बिना objectives achieve नहीं हो सकते हैं. They need to work along with each other side by side. The managers and the workers need to work alongside. All right? Cooperation, not individual. अब यहाँ पे एक चीज हम बता दें. यहाँ पे आपका जो यहाँ पे था शेयरिंग ऑफ प्रॉफिट, और यहाँ क्या है? द वर्कर्स शुड बी अलाउड टू टेक इनिशिएटिव. दे शुड बी इन्वॉल्व इन डिसीजन मेकिंग and paternalistic style of management. Paternalistic style of management is followed in cooperation, not individualism. It means to say that the managers should act as parents, thinking about the welfare of the workers, and the workers should act as the children, knowing and believing that the parents are not going to harm them. So यहाँ आपके words आते हैं initiative, decision making, paternalistic style of management, not putting up unnecessary demands and tantrums for before the managers. All right. So that is cooperation, not individuals, harmony, not discordant. Last is development of workers to the greatest efficiency. आपकी बुक में दे रखा है development of each and every individual to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. Please वही heading लिखना जो NCERT में है. Don't cut short the headings. Don't, please. Right? Now it says two things: development of workers to development of each and every individual to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. It means to say two things. One, it says the employees, the workers, in an organization should be selected on a scientific basis. That means the workers should be selected through a certain procedure, certain process, and not just by the choices of the managers. So there should not be bias, or there should be a selection of people on an unbiased scientific method. Second, workers once selected, even the right workers, the best workers, even the best workers once selected, should be provided opportunities for training and development so that they can grow and get to the best of their efficiency and prosperity. तो दो चीजें आप देख रहे हैं. पहली यहाँ पे क्या है? Taylor insisted due care should be taken while selecting the employees. And second is giving jobs to their qualification. And third, as if second, there should be proper training and selection. Despite selecting the right people, there should be timely training and development opportunities provided to the workers. That's so that they can bloom and grow to the fullest efficiency. जो हमने किया ना, self actualization, they can go and achieve.